What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another West New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today, once again, comes from the Grow Brewing Company, and they are a nomadic brewery that is headquartered in Geneva, New York, and this is a dark bloom cocoa pecan pie. So they're calling this one an American Stout brewed with toasted pecans, cocoa powder, and spices. It comes in at 8% alcohol by volume, 10 IBUs at the time of review, and this can is approximately 2.5 weeks old. So recently, I went to the Taps and Crafts Festival in downtown Niagara Falls in New York, and Grow was pouring their beers there. So I chatted with Garrett and Lana there. And I had a lot of different pours. I bought a Grow Brewing Company hat, and I also bought this beer because it was the, I think, only beer fest I've ever been to where the breweries and everybody else who was there selling stuff could actually sell like alcoholic products. So a lot of the breweries had cans to take home. They were selling 4-packs and single cans. So I bought a single can of this because it's been a while since I've reviewed a Grow beer, and they were nice enough to send me home with this Grow Brewing Company a glass because they said hashtag proper glassware. If you're going to review this, you got to drink it out of the proper glassware. So here we are. So huge thanks to Garrett and Alana for their hospitality. They were chatting all night. I had a bunch of pours there, and just really appreciate it. I love when new breweries come into the fold and I get to review them on the channel. And everything I've had from Grow has been top notch. So I'm hoping that this is much of the same. I've had one other beer in this series, a dark bloom series. It was their Red Eye, and it was really good. I reviewed it maybe earlier this year. Might have been earlier this year, maybe late last. And it was really good. So when I saw cocoa pecan pie, sign me up. And here's a interesting fact. In the last about week and a half, I've actually had a piece of chocolate pecan pie, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Picture pecan pie, but with chocolate chips, and I didn't know pecan pie could get any better, and it sure as hell did. So if this beer tastes anything like that piece of pie I had, I am here for it. And I love the artwork from Grow for sure. So yeah, that poured out like a really deep brown color. On camera, in the glass, it looks pitch black. Hold it up to the light, still looks pitch black, definitely more of a dark brown. Had about a finger, which is now a half finger of this nice mocha colored head, maybe even slightly into a dark brown. Had about a finger of a nice head going on, more of a soap sudsy look to it than anything else. But yeah, it looks nice, especially in the hashtag proper glassware. Anyway, let's get a nose. Ooh, pecans, for 100% pecans. Wow, there's a big nuttiness. So, all right, I said 100% pecans. And I might be bullshitting there a little bit because if I was doing a blind, would I say pecans? No, but I would say nutty. And it, maybe like a walnut, maybe a pecan, maybe a cashew. But I'd probably say more in the pecan kind of walnut range. And then there's this beautiful dark, kind of sweeter, almost like Hershey's Special Dark, where whenever I mention Hershey Special Dark, I like Hershey Special Dark, okay? But it's sweeter than your typical dark chocolate, at least in my opinion. I like the 40, 50, 67% cacao bars, but this is definitely a sweeter, sugar-added dark chocolate. They said spices. There's a little bit of I don't know what spices would be in here. Maybe like your pumpkin pie spices, maybe throw a little bit. There's a little bit of like a cinnamon kind of thing going on, not too big. I don't know what spices are in pecan pie. It smells like chocolate, pecan, something. Like it's a pastry-esque kind of feel. There's a nice roasted malt quality, a little bit of like a coffee roast. Definitely there's roasted qualities to this in general. Maybe a little bit of like a touch of molasses. And there's this nice earthy hop presence as well. So this isn't full on sweet. It's a nice, I can't get over it. Again, I just had a piece of chocolate pecan pie within the past. I think it was like 8 or 9 days ago of this review. And I'm telling you, it was fucking delicious. So this is bringing back memories of that. And it's in 8% American Stout or Imperial Stout form. Yeah, sign me up. Now I will say, I have seen one check-in of this beer. It was from Dan over at FLX, great friend of mine. Go check out FLX boys, Dad and Mike, fantastic individuals, and they love Grow. And I've been introduced to Grow by them. And Dan was a little bit underwhelmed by this. I think he gave it a 3.75 on tap and said it was a little bit muddled. I am not getting that now. He did say he was going to age the can. This doesn't smell like that to me. We'll see how it tastes, but it smells delicious. So let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. That's really tasty. There is something on the back end that is definitely a spice that is not cinnamon to me. I don't know what that is. Is it cardamom? Could be cardamom. I don't know. It has a different kind of spiciness. This is really good. That's weird. It could also be like the dryness of like a pecan mixing in with the spice, making it a little bit different. All right, body and mouthfeel, 8%. I think it's appropriate for the ABV. This is like higher side of medium body into low full. I'd say more higher side of medium body. Might be a touch thin from some. You know, like Paul over at PaTroll, shout out to him. He might think it's a bit thin for what it is. I think it's right in the realm of what I'm looking for. Would I like to be a little bit more thick and chewy? Sure, but it's not an issue whatsoever. The mouthfeel, this is where I have a little bit more of an issue, and I can see it in my glass. There's a lot of carbonation. Not a lot. Not like over the top, not like a shit ton, but this is like moderately carbonated, and this is a personal preference. Just like all the reviews are. I'd like to see this more like mild to moderate carbonation. I want this to be a little bit more soft, smooth, and creamy. Kind of like I'm eating a pecan pie, right? I don't want the carbonation to be very spritzy on the palate, and it is a little bit spritzy on the palate. So I think that might be an issue for some, and for me, it's one of the only negative so far. And it's not even a big negative; it's very minute. But I've got to be honest. I'm just mentioning it, but the carbonation is a little bit higher than I would like. The taste is really good. Right up front, roasted malt, dark chocolate, coffee roast, molasses, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of toffee, and that all hits me at the forefront. It's the first half of the palate. As it passes through, the pecans come in. And again, it's like this nuttiness that I know is pecans because I know there's pecans in here. If I was doing a blind, I might say walnut. I might just say a generic nuttiness. Maybe even, I might even say it's peanut butter. But there's a nuttiness here that now I know it's pecans. And it's giving me a little bit of that pecan, that chocolate pecan pie feel. As it finishes, again, there's that weird spice. It has like a cardamom into, I don't know, I can't really say there's something else. It's a different spice. It's not cinnamon. Don't know exactly what it is, but it's mixing in with the dryness from the pecans, and it's giving me a different, unique finish that I do enjoy. It's just different. I'm trying to decipher it, but it's kind of messing with my mind at the same time. What I love about this beer is it is pretty dry. This is like semi to full on dry. A mild bitterness. The bitterness is kind of like an earthy kind of bitterness, earthy kind of dryness as well. Just earthy in general. This is not too sweet. I am getting sticky lips, which is funny, but I think the other variant I reviewed from them was a dark bloom red eye. That was sweeter than this, in my opinion. Not much sweeter, but it was definitely sweeter. This is really good. Two things stopping me from going nuts over it. Number one is the mouthfeel, which I already mentioned. Be a little bit more soft, smooth, creamy. I think it'd be great. And then that finish. I don't necessarily love it. I don't dislike it. It's just different and kind of messing with me. And every single time I take that sip and that finish hits, I'm just like, what is that? And it's kind of upsetting my brain piece. I'm not smart in general, right? Like I'm not a smart guy. So trying to figure out what I'm tasting right now is upsetting because I can't figure it out. But this is just really good. I think I like Red Eye better. I don't remember what I rated. I think I rated that though probably in like the 4.25, 4.3, 4.35 realm because that was better than this. But I'm still going to give this a decent rating. Dan gave it a 3.75. I think I'm going to go a little higher than that. I think this would get up there with the Red Eye if the mouthfeel was better and that finish was something I could easily understand and knew what I was drinking. But at the end of the day, I really like the artwork too with their stuff. They, first of all, they tell you what it was brewed with on the side. And then, especially this, I just love the artwork. It's fantastic. So I'm going to give this beer right here a dark bloom cocoa pecan pie. I'm going to give it a low 4.25 and go 4.15. I'm giving it a low 4.25 instead of a high 4 because I had that chocolate pecan pie, and I think it kind of replicates that to a decent degree, not fully, but it definitely, that mouthfeel, if it was just a little bit better, I think it would be something that I would love. And I don't love this. I really like it though. Price point availability. Now at the show, I think I paid $6 for this can, something in that realm. Probably the same price point if you get it in the store, $5-6, which is fine for an 8% beer with two different adjuncts plus spices. Fine by me. Might be expensive for some, but it's craft beer, and craft beer is expensive. All beer is expensive at this point for the most part. And availability, the aforementioned Alana, she's the one that actually gets all these beers out to the different different bottle shops and beer stores and whatnot across New York State. I'm pretty sure they get as far east as Syracuse, maybe even a little bit further. They get down to the southern tier, they get into Rochester, they get here into Buffalo. So if you're in the western/central New York, southern tier region of New York State, you should be able to pick up Grow's stuff. And who knows, if you go and seek this out right now or in the next week or so, this should probably be on the shelf. And I am going to try to pick up every single variant they do of this because they're 2 for 2 for me. The Red Eye was a little bit better than this, but I just want to see what they release next. I'm sure they're going to keep this one going. They did have a 10% barrel age version of this on tap at the fest that I really enjoyed as well. So yeah, just a great series and a damn tasty beer. 8%, a little bit of warming in the chest, nothing on the palate that would indicate this is boozy or astringent or anything. So really well done. So kudos to Grow for this beer. Huge thanks again for this glass. Everything tastes better in #proper glassware, and I'm glad I was able to grab a can of this and review it. I'll have to review more from Grow going forward, maybe like once every couple months, and see what they got going on, because I do enjoy their stuff. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section, let me know what you think about it. Next Wednesday, I'm going to try to get a newer release from Genesee. They have 2. They have a Union-made hazy IPA, and they have their new citrus pills. So I'm going to try to review one of those for West New York Wednesday, and yeah, every Wednesday, West New York beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Pretty sure if you follow the channel, you know that, but for those of you who are new to the channel, that's how we roll here. Anyway, appreciate it. To the next one. Cheers.